something I was really thinking about. Do you, with everything you've been through, right? Um, do you still have faith in love?
Yeah.
To what
I didn't
degree?
at first. I didn't at first, and I ain't gonna lie, because I felt like my heart was so black, yo. Like I felt like I'm so guarded. I don't trust. I'm learning. I'm getting there. So to say that I can meet somebody and be like, hey, I'm gonna give you everything, that's hard to do. It is hard to do. I do think that love is there for some people. For me personally, I'm just enjoying me right now. And I've been single for a little while. I tested the waters. The Lord let me know my heart does work. I tried for a little while. It didn't work out, but at least I know I'm able to love. That just wasn't the person for me.
How important do you think it is for people to really love themselves more than before they ever pursue? Like,
how could you give somebody love when you ain't giving it to yourself on a daily basis? How can I call you and say, Benji, you know what, I love you, and I don't even love me? How can I tell somebody outside of who I wake up with that I love them and I don't really love myself? And when you really love yourself, which the love I had to get back for myself, and when you love yourself so much, it's hard to let people use and abuse you. That's why I'm guarded, because I love me. And now I got the sense of discernment, so most of the time I can see it coming. But that doesn't stop me from loving. And now that I feel this self-love about myself, when I walk out the door every day, it's easy to meet people and greet them with love. Even when people greet me with hate, I don't always get the best responses either, but it's not hard for me to still give them love even though they giving hate, because really that's all I got to give.
this journey that we on, life, right? Would you change anything? And if you could change a lot, because like a lot of what you're telling me, like it is bad. Some of the stuff is dead art, but it made you the person you are today. So would you change it if you could? Would you still be the naive little girl, or would you rather have went through this storm and become this strong woman? Like, what would you rather if you had to choose?
It's a flip side to that, because right now, by me choosing God, you understand what I'm saying? It's easier for me to choose God over the world, because I done been out there already. I've already tested the waters. It ain't nothing as a female I haven't been through besides the violence. I done been in a car that was completely shot up and I didn't get touched at all. I done been in jail for attempted murder that didn't stay on my record. I have almost had a fed bed with my name on it. It's not much I haven't been through, but I think all that created the person that I am today. So is it easy for me to submit what I want to, to submit my life to God and not do what I want to do, but do what God wants me to do? It's easy because I didn't know that.
Right.
It's harder for somebody. For some people, maybe if they just want to see, let me see what's out there. I ain't never seen what's out there. All I know is the church life. For some people that's okay, but when you got temptation knocking at your door, and you don't really know how to answer, to me, things that I used to do don't look befitting to me anymore, because I done did that already. I done tried it already. It ain't nothing I ain't tried. It's a lot of things that go on, but it ain't really much I done tried. So it's easy now for me to sit back and I ain't choosing violence today. I ain't choosing that lifestyle today, because I've been there, done that. It broke my heart. I had to get it back together. And why go through that pain again?
Where are we as a society? Like, you working with a lot of these young ladies. Do you see it getting better at all?
I think people are being more aware, especially after Corona, and especially being locked up inside and not being able to see people. I think it's getting better by us losing people and not being able to say your final goodbyes. People being in the hospital by themselves dying, and people not being able to come and surround their bed with love. I think that brought people with more of an awareness of how to treat people, that it's better to love people than to be hateful. I think more people are wanting to jump in and to help. When you say we rah for the right, I think more people are saying, yeah, let me help. I think a lot of the things that has happened with us curbing some of the violence is because people are trying to help now, instead of everybody like, oh, I'm minding my business, child, staying in my house, closing my door. I don't have nothing to do with that. It's not like that anymore. I think now people are creating more of an environment of wanting to help, wanting to get better. I speak to a lot of people that say they want to change. People get tired of the same old without the results. And I can't speak for other people, but for me personally, when I got tired, I started seeing people like, oh, they're really happy. She really happy. Like, where is this happiness that people speak of? Because I mean, the things that's coming is happy, the money, the this, the that, but the deep down happiness, you can see that in people. I used to see that light in people and I wanted that. But now people see money, they want that. They think you got fame on Instagram, the cloud chase, and they want that. You're doing this, they want that. It's like, it's a grab and go, you know? But I think the majority of people are starting to give a little more, you know? Being more caring to being a better product of our environment. You see what I'm saying? Like, people want better for themselves now. People tired of that same old, the stuck environment that we was in when Corona. People got to choose if a job gonna take them, if a job gonna let them go to work. Some people are like, you know what, I ain't going back to no job, I'm about to create a business for myself, you know? And that says a lot for us as a community. People loving to going into home ownership, people buying houses, people starting businesses, people starting to use their craft. We got some crafty people in this city.
Right.
You know, and people starting to tap into that because we had no other choice. When the government closed everything down, and then the job is like, oh, if they want you to come to work today. Now people saying, oh, we don't have to go to work if we don't want to. We don't want to make $9 an hour for a $15 an hour job. I'm finna go make my own money. I'm about to make my sandwiches. We about to blow up balloons. We about to have bumper cars. We about to, everybody pulling out their craft.
I want to say that you are very brave for doing what you're doing, dealing with domestic violence victims, and because I know that even for our police officers, the domestic violence issues are something that like we have lost police officers a lot of times behind domestic violence issues.
And that's another thing I advocate with. Like I have told people, I am on a board called a PCAB. It's the Police Community Advisory Board, and that's when community people decide to volunteer to be on the board. They tell the police that we need a better engagement between NOPD and the community. I'm on the meetings every Tuesday, every Wednesday. Sometimes I'm the only person on that, and I'm fine with that. It was at one point I wouldn't talk to no police. And that same police district is where I went to jail at, and I tried to do the right thing, and they arrested me. But I just feel like now is the time for us to work with them. They see what's going on. You know, they see that it's a separation, you know, and it's time for us to get together. I've asked and recommended that they come up with, you know, a task force just for domestic violence. Not only for the person, the people involved, but also for NOPD. It's time people be in their emotions. He mad at her, he's shooting at her, an officer pull up, they can get shot in a rage of an emotion, you understand? So knowing how to respond to that, but also on a flip end, okay, an officer comes, two people are engaged, are they getting any resources to help them get this together? Because sometimes it's not about people, oh, I'm gonna leave him, he hit me. Sometimes that man needs some help. And if, you know, I couldn't help mine, but that don't mean other people can't help him, because I have a lot of people who have success stories. A man they had to go through something to get to something, but it took for a man to realize, hey, I need some help. But where do they go to get the resource? Because once an officer come out, they arrest somebody, they don't arrest somebody, they give them a card with the police, you know what I'm saying, the report number on it. Where we go from there? Where the resources come in at? Where they know to get help from? Last time I checked 311, you know, you call for domestic violence, they give you the shelters, and where's the resources? Where the help coming in at? We need that follow-up. Mental health. When you go out on a mental health call, where's the help for that person if you didn't take them to a facility or to get care? Where the follow-up?
Right. I always said that I thought that police officers should have social work training too, like at least, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I know that they have officers that they're dedicated to that unit. I don't know if they, from my understanding, they don't answer on that direct call because they got to use whatever officers may be in that area at the time. But once a case is assigned and it goes to that department, you know, that part of NOP
right,
that only handles domestic violence types of situations, or what they call it, domestic partners and stuff like that. So after the fact, but we talking about on
in
site.
The field, like in the field, because that really saved lives.
Prime example, the man who had to commit his son, and then the son came back and killed him. Where was the follow-up? Did anybody ask this father after he had to make that decision to have his son committed? Y'all let him out? Did anybody, I just want to know, I'm not saying it did or it didn't, I just want to know, did anybody follow up with the father to find out, do you fear your life? You know, how's everything going? Because we have court watchers, we have court advocates, all departments got advocates. The DA's office as well as supposed to be NOPD and everything. So.
Right, and that's kind of disturbing how far behind we are on mental
Awareness
issues.
for number one, because they like to, when I bring it up on the NOPD meetings, they're like, oh, well, we don't really have the resources to be in this area, ahead of time, but y'all using all the resources on murders. But if you know it's drama going on, why not just go place yourself there? Because a police unit car can stop a whole lot of drama, but you don't have the resources for that, but you're pouring all the resources on murders.
Right, and another thing, can you separate domestic violence from mental health issues? Like, or is it one and the same?
It kind of it intertwines a lot, because a lot of people, after you done been yelled at, popped on, whatever, emotionally or physically abused, you move into PTSD, you move into anxiety. All of that is under healthcare, it's under mental health. You understand what I'm saying? So things turn medical after that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
After we done heard so many gunshots and you hear a boom and it might be in the kitchen, but you're looking outside because that's PTSD. That sound is triggering you to think that automatically something bad has happened. That's how with mental health. That drives you up a wall. Sometimes I don't like going in the big crowds of people, concerts and all that, because in my mind, we about to run.
Right.
And it may not even be that kind of vibe, but that's the trick your mind plays on you. That's mental health.
Right. I want to say thank you. Thank you for having the strength. Thank you for sitting down with me. And I want to work with you more on your cause and some other people that I'm potentially trying to interview and talk to and let them get their story out also.
But I don't want nobody to get it twisted. Like, this strength came from me being 20 years out of a situation, me working on it. I don't I don't want people to think that overnight, I'm supposed to be strong like that. No, it don't happen like that. I had to wait 10, 15 years before I even spoke on it till I can get myself strong enough. And when I very first started, every interview I did, I cried. I sweated from head to toe, anxiety. I bust out in tears, I couldn't help myself. But as things go along, you get stronger, you get stronger, you get stronger. So I don't ever want nobody to think that overnight you're gonna get your strength from that. It's not. It takes time. I didn't have a voice for almost 20 years. I got my voice back and this where we at.
And I thank you. This is Benjamin's Room, Victim's Voice. This is our first one. And I think it went very, very well. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. And I wanted to tell everybody that on this night, October the 28th, when I do the domestic violence gala, it's a fundraiser. It's always formal and all black for observance, because I want people to know that even though we're going to have fun on this night, because it's also a casino night, DJ Ramsey is going to keep us entertained, it's also people who are getting their strength to come back again. I am honoring, I have 11 honorees, people who are all over the city who has been victims of domestic violence that's finally deciding to use their voice. And so on this night, we just want to come out and just, create an environment to make them feel comfortable with want to talk about it. People have been shot, stabbed, and some people not that drastic. You understand what I'm saying? But this is a night to come out and say, I understand what you have going on. I support it. You understand what I'm saying? Some people that's not there yet, this is for you to come and get your strength, come and see what other people in the city are going through. And we want to honor them on that day. We honor breast cancer awareness. We honor mental health awareness. We honor domestic violence awareness on October 28th, 7 to 10.